Hi,
There's
Kim.
Robin. Hi, Robin.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Have you seen any turkeys this week?
No,
No, no turkeys.
no
Haw-
turkeys.
Hawks? Any hawks?
Mm, maybe a red-tailed flyover. Yeah, I haven't
Oh,
been out birding too much this week.
well, my third bird I was going to ask about is the hummingbird.
I had one on Saturday or Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
I
So
saw
that's
one on, I think Monday.
okay. So they're
Yeah.
still flitting around Indiana, huh? That's good to hear.
Hello, John. Mhm.
Hey, Robin. Hi, Kim. Okay.
Hi. Any hawks in the big city?
Well, I'm actually in Beverly Shores
Oh,
now. So I'm too in northern Porter County here.
okay.
And I did see an eagle fly over today, so that's always a good sign.
Oh, that's always fun. Yeah. I did get some Juncos this week.
Wow.
So,
On the ground, I take it.
yes, they were actually in my front yard. There
Hmm.
was
Oh,
four of them.
nice.
I think that was on
Would that
Tuesday.
be early then? I would take it because they tend to start coming in a little later, right?
I don't know, somebody else mentioned that they had seen them in Porter County.
Hmm.
I had not. And then there they were.
Yeah. Our
So,
expert has joined us. I've seen Brad. We're talking dark-eyed junkos.
Yeah, we
yeah.
this is right about the usual arrival time for them. And a lot of it depends on the timing of the cold fronts that come in, and then I think it's usually that a lot of times this time of year, on a rainy day, I would be driving through the state park, and they're flushing them from the side of the roads, starting anytime right about now. So I had a flock of 20 out here on a lawn a couple days ago while I was out birding. They're here.
Wow.
The cooler thing with the Juncos is this unprecedented Harris's sparrow
Yeah.
invasion that's occurring right now from out west. And so there was a spot up by Duluth. They found like 72 Harris's sparrows, and they are all coming and hitting the lake, and they're coming down. And so I think we're going to see dozens and dozens of Harris's sparrow reports over the next 2 weeks, especially in northwest Indiana in the Dunes area.
Mhm.
That's cool. I think someone saw one yesterday at
Yeah,
at, at
there
Golden
was.
Bog.
Mhm.
Uh,
And I have I got a little seed pile at a local park here in Milwaukee, and down the road at Bender Park and Phil Dead End, and um I've gotten a couple of those extra bags from Mary Gray, and dumped out some of that loose seed, and I had 5 Harris's sparrows feeding on it this morning. They are here.
oh,
Hmm. Maybe that's what you need in Beverly Shores, John. Need some seed piles.
yeah.
Well, there was a lady, there was somebody that had an impromptu bird feeder at the West End at Kemmel, at that little parking lot dead end off of, where Beverly and Kemmel come together. I don't know who it was. They used to sprinkle seed right there at that parking
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
But I don't know who did it, and I'm sure it was unauthorized.
yeah. I'm sure. And it was just like when we had the spotted towhee in that January time frame. There was a few of us kind of throwing a little seed out right there at that would have been by Derby and Bellevue. Um, but there's some kind hearts around here that will periodically throw seed out.
Mhm. But John, I assume are you heading to the lakefront after dark tonight?
Are they talking about the Northern Lights being able to be seen? Because
They're
probably.
talking about right now, we're in the middle of the largest probably Aurora show that we've seen in 25 years.
Okay,
And,
I had friends that went down like 3 nights ago, and it was a full display. And then the other nights there was nothing. And so I'll have to check it out.
It is, last I saw, they were still KP7s, which are like, as high as we see them. So,
Okay.
8, I've never seen it this high.
Okay.
And so as soon as the sun sets, you should be able to see it tonight.
Yeah. Which site, which website do you use or app?
I go to both spaceweather.com
Okay.
and then there's that's the main one. And you can go and see like the Aurora maps and get the information and news.
Okay. Yeah, because they were pretty spectacular from the photos I saw from my friends. And I was really bummed I was in the city and in Chicago, so I obviously couldn't see them.
Yeah, this is the current Aurora oval that's visible right now.
Oh, okay.
And it's not even, turned towards us yet. But
Wow.
once the sun sets and that oval comes over, and then we're gonna be, right into that Aurora zone. So, and even right now, it'd be visible on the horizon if it were dark.
Hmm.
Hello.
Hi, Lena.
Hey, Lena.
Hey. Brad, have you seen the wood thrush movement we've been having?
I may have just looked up one that, I was planning on
Yeah.
talking about tonight.
Okay, well, yeah, one went
Yeah, couple of
for
them.
two of the sites where I tagged them too.
Yeah. And
And
did you see looks like we got a national wildlife refuge in Mississippi that seems to be
yes, that
Well,
seems
so-
where two headed, right? Two of them
at
headed
first I
there?
had to make sure that this wasn't glitches. This was legit.
No.
And then I followed their paths. I was like, I think each one of them crossed paths in Mississippi. So
Yeah, all of mine except one I ever recorded, but all of them left the same day, it seemed.
They left
Very
the state of
interesting.
Indiana? Is that what you're
Well,
saying? That they left
They,
here?
they started being in a move like the ones, Brad, yours, they were talking about from up north on the 25th of September and some on the 30th of September all started moving out of Indiana.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, I'll leave, Brad. If you're going to talk about it, I don't want to take too much away.
Yeah, there's probably some other ones you could always mention.
Spoiler
And,
alert.
Well, was that the same time period that we had they left and then some owls are replacing them since you
Exactly.
snagged one already?
Yeah, I got, what is it now, 3 days ago, that first one? Have you guys
that's-
gotten any up north?
Well, they start tonight, so
Oh, okay.
fingers crossed. We got some good conditions, and we probably could have gotten out Monday. It's usually right after that first good cold front. So anywhere in this period, we might get our first bird. You usually don't get one till about the 12th, but I'm feeling pretty good that the way these conditions are, and I bet you owls like flying on the Aurora. So
We got one down in Indy. I'm sure they've already gotten to your place. Well, to the dunes.
Yeah, that's a cute one.
Right. Well, it's 6 o'clock. It's time to get started. Welcome to everybody who is attending, and we might get a few more that will show up in a little bit. And of course, we're welcoming everyone. In case you don't know who I am, I'm Kim En. I am the president of the board of directors for Indiana Audubon, and I'm very pleased to welcome you all to our fall membership meeting. Our bylaws actually say we should do this once a year, and we thought we'd try something different and do it virtually so that everyone from around the state can come together and just get an update on where we are and what we're doing. And with me also is our executive director, Brad Baumgardner. Would you like to say hello?
Hey, everybody. Happy fall migration. Hopefully you've been out and about and just it's what actually, everyone gets all pumped up about the spring migration. Birds are singing, and fall is actually my favorite time. I think it's, a little longer period, and there's so many different aspects that you can learn. You get warbler season, you get sparrow season. You don't get that in the spring. It's boom all at once. So I'm really excited just to enjoy this part of the year, time of the year, and all the different projects we have going on. And I hope you guys are too.
Great. Well, we'll get started as soon as I get a co-host. approval.
Should be.
Okay,
Yeah, you should have it now.
thank you so much. So there we are. There was our invite to the fall membership meeting. And I apologize if anyone had some difficulty in registering for the event. I actually registered twice, so I'm glad that you all made it too. So of course, you know, we were founded in 1898, and our mission is to engage communities for the enjoyment of birds and their habitat through conservation, education, and research. So we have a dedicated board of directors. There are 15 members that meet to help guide us with our strategic planning, fiscal management, and leadership opportunities. And our very favorite executive director, Brad, helps to lead our staff to carry out the programs and all the operations in the communities that we serve. So this year, our election of board directors, we had 3 vacancies or 3 positions that we were filling. The directors serve 3-year terms, and they are ending. They will start in 2025 and end in 2027. We had 2 incumbents and 1 vacant position. Lena, who's on with us today. Yay, everybody say hi to Lena. Just a little bio about her. She is a professor, Dr. Lena. I don't know if your students call you that.
Dr. Rafai. So, but yeah,
Dr. Rafai.
yeah.
And of course, she's done some things throughout the world, and she likes owls and birds and mammals and reptiles. And I even saw that you did like something with insects. And also co-authored a herpetological field guide to Jordan. Now, is that in a different language or is it in English?
It's in English.
Oh, cool. Just in case I go there.
Yeah, I can lend you a copy.
Our other director that was up for nomination, and these are the directors that were eventually voted into on the board. Another incumbent is Matt Reese. He's not on with us, I don't think, right now. But he is also an artist and has developed some printed, I don't know, carvings. And he did wood thrush, and he's done hummingbirds and all kinds of owls and cool things. And he uses his art to raise money and awareness for the protection of local wildlife habitats. Our newest member to the board is Randy Patrick. He's a retired geoscientist, so he likes rocks. He has written 4 Indiana State Park hiking guides, and he likes to do photography and travel with his wife. We met him last fall when he helped out with the fall festival that we had at Eagle Creek Park and has been working on some committees throughout the year. So we're happy to get him. Our other announcements tonight is the James H. Mason Service Award. This was initiated in 1990, is given to a member of the society. It is presented to someone who's dedicated themselves to some service to the society over a length of time. And this year, that award was presented to Paul Labovitz. I was fortunate to be able to be in the area where he lives and was able to meet him at his home, along with Cookie Ferguson, our secretary. And that is a bird house box that he built right behind us. You might be familiar with his bluebird houses that have been used at the Birding Festival and some other youth events. Owl boxes also, he's put together some kits for IAS. And we were able to meet him before he ventured out to Poland. He's in Poland for the next couple of weeks. So we're very happy to present that award to him. The next award that we presented, and I will say that all of these awards can be nominated. You can nominate someone for these awards. They are on our website. Just look for them under, I think it says awards. awards and grants. And you can nominate someone at any time. The nominations are due August 15th, and then the awards committee, a committee of the board, will meet and looks over the application and makes a recommendation for approval by the board. So Earl Brooks was another, along with James Mason, longtime Indiana Audubon supporters. They've had different positions, president, etc., editors of our publications, met at Mary Gray back when a lot of the meetings were down there. So this conservation award is given to somebody who does not have to be a member of the Indiana Audubon, but they promote the advancement of conservation of natural resources. And typically they've dedicated a number of years towards conservation. So this year, the award went to Steve Sass. He's the co-founder of Indiana Nature. It is a Facebook site that you can go onto to see all kinds of interesting things. They do there's a big butterfly connection where they've been tracking all the different kinds of butterflies and adding descriptions to them. He has done lectures at Audubon chapter meetings, IMN classes. He was also, along with two others, instrumental in discovery of Leidic bog. And this year he was alerted to the demise of a black oak savanna over in Warren Township, was the old Indy Speedway property. Organized about 100 people to show up to express their displeasure that all these trees were going to be taken down and turned into an auto sale yard. Good news is I just heard from him today, and the company that was going to buy the property and have it rezoned and take all the trees down has decided to walk away from it and find a different property. So he does take on restoration planting projects, and Cookie Ferguson was able to go with me, and she took this picture when we presented his award, and we got to take a nice little walk around the Black Oak Savanna of a fire station, a nice little walking trail that they did near the fire station, and he's helped them with that. So we were very pleased to be able to give him his award too. Our other presentation has been about our Mumford and Keller grants and scholarships, and between some silent auctions with the Indiana Dunes Birding Festival and budgeted amounts from Indiana Audubon, we were able to award $13,115 in grants this fall. We also previously had provided some money to some applicants to help them attend the Dunes Birding Festival in May, and also help out some participants of the Indiana Master Naturalist Program at Mary Gray Bird Sanctuary. That started, I believe, in the spring, and they meet monthly. So the 9 applicants that are receiving money from the Mumford and Keller grants this year, you can see the listing of them there, and they range Fayette County, Porter County, Costco County, actually a group that's coming from the Chicago area, and I think that's Marion County down there, and Lake County, and I'm not sure where the raptor awareness is. But it's nice to see a variety of projects, and these are also projects that you might know a group or someone who could use a little bit of funding to get their project completed or successful. And this application is also on our website, and you can fill out the application at any time. Again, they're due by August 15th, so they can be awarded in the fall. And we're very excited about that. Also, the new Motus Tower at the Cope Environmental Center. So that's pretty exciting stuff. Look for some more information about these as they share their success stories and the impact that they have on the protection of birds. So where are we? Where are we in the year? Well, we did a 2023 annual report. Of course, 2024 is not over yet, so we still have some more time. But you can see we've had some significant donations and grants that have helped us out this year. We've had an increase in our memberships, our investment income has had gains, and we've gotten foundational support for Mary Gray Bird Sanctuary. All fun and exciting things. And we're already in the next 125 years. So we can only think that we're going to continue our education, conservation, and research goals. And you are a part of all of that. Adding up the numbers in 2020, we looked at the 2023 numbers. Well, since that time, we've actually had over 400 bird species have been observed in Indiana. 10 Indiana birding trail sites were voted the best of the best in the Hoosier Choice Awards. Hopefully you get a chance to discover some of those birding trail sites yourself. There are only 82 days left to participate in the Indiana Fantasy Big Year. So if you haven't gotten into that, this is your big chance. I counted them, there are 11 different t-shirt designs in our online shop. How could you not find something for someone this holiday season when you need a gift? There are also 49 species of shorebirds described by Ken Brock in the online Shorebirds of Indiana. Oop, missing a little grammatical marker there, which you can access on our website. So not only do you have access to birds of the world, all the birds you can even think about, even the Harris sparrow is on there, but you can also look up shorebirds. Get ready for next year. The joy of birding. So the board has been following the 2020-2025 strategic plan that was created back then. And these are the 5 different strategic goals. Share the joy of birding, which, we do quite well. And 2, ensure the preservation and financial stability of Mary Gray Bird Sanctuary. Another great thing we're working on. Recruit volunteers to expand capacity and ensure succession. And we have a lot of great volunteers that show up to help us with programs and resource management projects and things at Mary Gray. Enhance internal processes and procedures. We've been working on our committee structure as a board to help us achieve more success and get more planning done. And then build on, I can't see it from here, but it probably says, build on the success of our history. We have a great history, and you can see a nice picture here of Markle Barn. We've been around such a long time. It's fun to go back and look at the minutes and notes from like the 40s and the 50s to see what they were thinking back then. And of course, in the 40s is when we got the Mary Gray Bird Sanctuary. And I picked this photo out because it's kind of looking like maybe it's getting towards fall, which we're in right now. And I can't imagine what all the colors are going to look like down there. What a fun project. And so Mary Gray is a very important part of our planning process. One of the things we're looking at is looking at our education, conservation, and research activities to help guide us to future improvements. What kind of improvements could we have there? We just put in the new accessible birding blind in one of the old shelters, a reuse of an old shelter that just seemed like it wasn't getting used anymore. And now it's this beautiful bird blind with bird feeders and things, and you can go out there and take a look at that. And so we're looking at some concepts of things that we can look at in the future to help improve the property and increase the visibility, the accessibility, and all of those activities that we can do there. Now, you can get more involved too. You can fill out the volunteer interest form. You can fill out the board interest application form. You can comment and share about our Facebook page when things go up. You can gift a membership or suggest a corporate membership. So I know that there's always so many things going on in our lives. It's hard to add one more thing. but busy people get the most done. And I know all of you would love to help out in a new way. So think about those things. And you can always contact myself, any of the board members, our executive director, or any of our staff if you want more information. I'm glad to share this photo from my friend Ryan Sanderson. He always takes such interesting photos. And of course, he's been involved in photography for a long, long time. I got a Canon P900 just so I could take pictures of birds that were too far away. I couldn't quite see the identification marks, but I am not the photographer that any of these folks are. And some of you online with us tonight are good photographers, and it is so much fun to see all the pictures. But that's not me. I'm just not a photographer. I am an experiencer. I like to just go out there and see the birds. And if I can't identify them, missed opportunity. But I do want to thank you all for coming and listening to my little part of the presentation. I know that we have a little bit more in store for you, but I'm going to take a little moment here to see if anybody has any comments or questions about any of the pictures I just shared. Okay, well, it might inspire you later. So you can put them in the chat, or you can always get a hold of me by email. So then I'm going to ask Brad if he has something he'd like to share at this meeting.
Sure. Yeah, let me queue up some things here. I think everyone can see that. And the first thing I want to do is just simply thank you guys. You guys are members of Indiana Audubon. So you guys have been members for many years and through many different programs and events and activities that we've been a part of over that time. And one of the things that really kind of connects us, you can go, of course, is to that mission statement that we have. And I believe, look at that, I even have it there. And in case you're not familiar with it or you haven't seen it in a while, I did go through some changes in the last couple of years as we kind of further refine kind of where our mission and our direction is we engage people. We engage people about birds. And so very much though, our focus is both the people and the birds. We're a bird organization. And we really want to look at the bird, you know, the moment that bird takes flight through these different critical habitats, there are all sorts of threats and issues and dangers that these birds have. And through our enjoyment of the birds, you know, we can't enjoy birds unless these birds are safe. And so Indiana Audubon, through conservation, education, research, focuses on oftentimes those issues that birds face so that we can have that greater enjoyment. And I've definitely seen that Indiana Audubon is more than just a bird club. We are active, not only in just, you know, kind of doing field trips and teaching folks, you know, the new things of science and birding and how to use binoculars in a field guide, but we're also involved in connecting those dots on the birds. And I really see that where each project teaches us something about the birds. And then as we have others doing other work, that their work contributes and really starts to draw a complete picture about the birds that we have here in Indiana. And one other way to connect with us there. Let me go up here though. But you as members, whether you're supporting individually through your membership or through some of our adoption programs or donating directly to these programs or volunteering with them, you are helping us connect the dots. And it's really cool when we can actually start connecting the dots. And one of the best examples we've had, of course, is our Chasing Melody. And if you're not familiar with it, we've been tracking across the entire eastern United States, over 500 wood thrushes, and we're figuring out where they're wintering. Indiana, we've had over 25 wood thrushes, like you see there, that have been captured and applied these little MODIS tags. And so they're little tiny tags that are kind of little backpacks. And so as this bird flies along in migration, it can ping different MODIS towers, and we can start to draw a picture of where Indiana birds winter versus, say, Minnesota birds or Massachusetts birds, so that we know where to put our conservation dollars to protecting, you know, our beautiful wood thrush that's right here in Indiana. And I got real lucky. I got to go out June 10th at the Indiana Dunes, and I joined Libby Keys from the Mary Gay Bird Sanctuary. We had volunteers Rob Halleck and Savannah Bennett that day, and we went on a cold June day to try to find some wood thrushes. And if you've been down Trail 2 at the Indiana Dunes State Park, you might recognize that kind of rich red maple, pawpaw, flat woods back there. And we finally found an area where there was a wood thrush that was calling a male, and he was given that fluty EOLA. So we quickly just set up right there and dropped out of the poles, grabbed the nets, and strung it up there to see if we could draw in this particular wood thrush on that day. That was again June 10th of this last year. And once we got that net set up, it's not kind of windy. It wasn't a fun day. It looked like it was not going to be an easy day to get a wood thrush. But as that net opens up, see how it disappears there? And just a few moments later, go to the next one. Let me go to this one. Quick little play of a couple wood thrush calls. Notice across that trail, you don't see that net. It's gone. And it only takes just a couple seconds here. Watch for the movement. Right there. See it? As quickly as that wood thrush had flew right towards that net, kind of landed quietly in that pocket, and we were able to pull it out. And it was the very first of the wood thrushes that were banded up in the Indiana Dunes area. We have wood thrushes all the way down in southern Indiana. We have a lot of them that Lena has helped us with in central Indiana, in the Purdue areas, and up towards Jasper, Pulaski. And there's the bird right there. And we like to give them little names, kind of informal names. And this was down by the pawpaws. So I got one of the more polite names that I saw named for some of our wood thrushes. So this was Pawpaw. This was a second-year male that was banded again on June 10th, 2024 there at the Indiana Dunes State Park. I, of course, even had to get my own little selfie with them to remember the very first wood thrush as part of the Chasing Melody project that we were able to do up into the dunes. And here's where we can start to connect the dots. Is as soon as we got done, we released that bird, and this was the wood thrush nest. So his mate was using this nest, and when we walked away, there was a big fat baby wood thrush sitting on that nest, like ready to fly. And as soon as we got back and released Dad back out in the wild with his Motus tag, that nest was empty, and they were already probably starting the next brood to begin their fattening up and their migration. So I mentioned that June 10th, so that was up at the Indiana Dunes, so right there where my cursor is now. And just in the last couple days, we've been able to record Pawpaw on the move from the Indiana Dunes. His official Motus tag ID is 88751. But on the night of September 29th, September 30th, he flew over Jasper, Pulaski Fish and Wildlife Area, hit the Motus tag tower there at 1 a.m. At 2:14 a.m., he was flying past the Luger farm at Purdue and past that Motus tower. So those two white dots that you see up there in Northwest Indiana, that was just in a matter of an hour or so that a single wood thrush on the move, we were able to track its speed and everything as it was moving through there. Just by calculating that. And then all the way at the bottom there, that comes from about October 3rd. And that bird ended up in a national wildlife refuge in Mississippi. And so this was a 8 a.m. sighting. So this was a bird that was moving around feeding. And that particular wildlife refuge is 48,000 acres and is known as a refuge for resting feeding area for migratory birds. So not only are we now connecting our wintering grounds, but we're starting to kind of draw those pieces across the United States landscape and see where they're using stopover sites from our very own wood thrushes. And that's just one example. And Lena, you said that you have been looking at some of them that you've seen tracked as well, and you have some others that are moving too.
Yeah, it seems between the 25th and the 30th of September, most of our wood thrushes headed out of Indiana. And interesting that Pawpaw went over the two places where I also tagged wood thrushes the same day that he was flying over Jasper, Pulaski and Luger Farm. Two out of the three ones that we tagged at Jasper, Pulaski took off as well. And all of the ones at Luger Farm, there was 3 there that left as well. And Martell, which is another Purdue property. So all of them were heading out. But I think I also saw one from Mary Gray that also went. Was it Mississippi?
You are right. Yeah, one of the Mary Gray birds left Mary Gray and went directly, and the next tower that it intercepted was the exact same National Wildlife Refuge in Mississippi, That bird hit 3 days later though. So just
Yeah.
following right behind the tailwinds of our Dunes wood thrush.
Seems a little suspicious. I think you guys gave them some address or something. Did you tell them where to go?
Yeah. And it started, we think of where birds migrate, and a lot of them are going to go down the Gulf Coast, or they'll funnel through Florida and then kind of move across and maybe island jump. This looks like it's a clear movement towards the west. These birds are probably hooking around through Mexico, and maybe we're going to learn more about, maybe how much Gulf movement occurs amongst wood thrushes in migration, in addition to everything else that we're learning too. So there's such fascinating stuff there. So let's connect it. I think I got one more picture. Let me see here. Yeah, there we go. Our echoes of the night sky. And so this is an opportunity where this year we have volunteers, citizen scientists out there, and they have microphones to the sky, and they are listening for some of the birds that are migrating. And this is just a snapshot on eBird of our September project and the checklists that are in. We have over 109 checklists from nocturnal counts from mainly central Indiana, but you can see there's a couple other spots out there. And if you look at just the thrushes, our volunteers just in the last month have recorded 1,800 Swainson's thrushes, over 400 great cheek thrushes, and look at that, 42 wood thrushes. Were any of those wood thrushes going by, making their little call, one of ours with a Motus tag? I don't know, but as they go through and these birds continue on south and they go down the wintering grounds, we'll have potential to have these cross over again to the Chasing Melody project and ping on a Motus tower, come back up through the spring again, call over many of our houses as they're in the migration and the echoes of the night sky. And I'm hoping we can really connect those dots. And another program that many of you guys help fund, and your membership helps support, the spring longshore flight project that occurs over there at the Indiana Dunes State Park, where we have thousands of thrushes that are recorded annually going over the tower. So it's really neat just to think about all these different projects that you support by being a member are able to connect not just one dot, but connect all the dots for these birds. And the more that we learn about it, the more that we can teach others about it, and the more that we can kind of further our conservation efforts to keep these birds in the state and keep that melody alive for all of us. So none of this would have been possible without donations and memberships and your support, whether you're going on a field trip or purchasing merchandise in an online store, going to the Owlnet, coming up our great banding nights that we have. All those contribute to everything it is to be a part of Indiana Audubon. So as part of that, I thank you guys for being supporters of all these really cool projects that we have going on with Indiana Audubon. You are helping us connect the dots. So thanks, guys.
Connecting the dots. I love it. What a great idea. So that's all we have to present to you tonight, I believe. And does anybody have any questions or comments? I saw a little thing that Brad put in the chat if you want to learn more about the Chasing Melody project. A link to the website. The website has a lot of great information. You really need to look around, which you probably already do, but it's always good to find something new.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
I just wondered, nothing was addressed with like maybe the financial status of the society. Is that something you disclosed during membership meeting?
Well, this is kind of like our first big membership meeting. And that is a really good question. Our financials, the third quarter just ended at the end of September. And so that kind of information is still being collated, but it will all be included in our 2024 annual report. Was there anything in specifically that you were had a question about? Or just wanted to look over the figures?
Nothing in particular. I just thought I'd remembered from previous membership meetings that there was just a general financial statement.
Well, Pam, that was a really good a good question. And I'm sorry that we don't have that available to provide to you. But I'm gonna write it down that it would be a good idea to kind of post that regularly so that you as a member can see that. Thank you. Thank you for that question.
Oh, they can't see me. Hi, this is Denise.
Hi, Denise.
Hi, Denise Marie Sobieski, my husband, Bill Mitchell. I have a question. Last year was our first time going to the Indiana Dunes Birding Festival. And I know there's been some talk about changes to make the logistics of parking and all of that better, and maybe more tourist friendly at the visitor center. Has there been anything decided? I know it's only October, but May's gonna come around pretty quick. I was just wondering.
I can speak to that. Us planning for that big festival already? We, we have certainly do it. The Indiana Dunes Visitor Center during that 4 days receives more vehicles than they do the entire rest of the year. And they have told us that there is no other period where they are that busy in there, and they handle so much busy summer rec that it's amazing what you don't see, that you're not there for July 4th weekends to see how full that lot is. And so it's been a growing issue for a couple of years now on addressing that. Our major pinch points are the headquarters, which is such a popular spot. The marketplace is there. There's food vendors there. There's field trips. So it's usually from like 11 to 1. It's really busy there. People are trying to get their lunches. And so there is in the works some new plans for next year. And the major highlights that I can tell you about, it'll be van trips starting off site. There's an area by the Shellberg Farm that is across the street that's kind of an overflow parking. There's a volunteer house there. This is over by the Bailey Farm or the Bailey House Shellberg Farm area just down the road. So we think we'll be staging a lot of trips out there, then running shuttles as an additional parking lot. So you've done the van trip, leave your car there. Just go ahead and take the shuttle back if you need to go to the visitor center, and you can get shuttled right back to your car. And if it just shaves 10%, 15% of those cars from needing to come back to the visitor center, then we can keep kind of this growth that we're seeing in the popularity of the festival. We had, over 1,100 people attend the festival last year, and it'd be hard to expect that we're not going to see that, or even, even a small increase. And so we definitely have recognized that parking is probably our biggest restriction, and look for some major changes in the field trips next year and how we address that.
Great. And I just wanted to add, we had such a great time. I don't have our video on it, but I'm the one who won the bird calling contest. I don't know if you remember me, Brad. Anyway,
maybe by sound
with my screech owl.
Let's hear it.
I just want to say this meeting is great. My husband and I were just finishing up dinner, and we don't have our video on because of that. And this meeting was great. I hope more people join the meeting. It's probably going to wrap up pretty soon, but you guys did a terrific job with this short, very informative meeting. And I love the wood thrush project. It is really cool. My husband Bill's a biologist, so anyway, thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. That was a really good question. I'm glad that you asked about it. Got a little chat from Jonathan. Oh, everybody wants to hear your owl call, Denise. What do you think? Can you share it? Still finishing your dinner? No.
No.
That's okay. We don't have to put you on the spot. You can work on whatever bird she's gonna be putting for the bird calling contest at the next bird festival.
Well,
So,
I wanted to see.
I will say that I had Merlin on the other day, and I was just kind of goofing around. We were out at the pond for dinner, and I just did a and Merlin picked up barred owl. I'm like, you got to be kidding, Merlin. You got to do better than that.
Or you have mastered it.
Oh, no. That was good.
Just want to say, and thank you, Jonathan. I'm glad that you appreciate us doing this in a virtual setting. And Brad has also put it in the chat. If you want to gift a membership, how to get to our online store so that you can do that. Some fun ideas for the holiday season. Any other questions? Okay, Jenny's got a little glad everyone was able to attend. We're glad we could give you those updates. I apologize for not including the financial status, and we'll try to get that information out to folks to look at real soon. Well, thank you all for attending. We can let you move on to the rest of your evening festivities and get out there and look for some birds, the aurora borealis, or just look out your window. You never know what might be flying around out there, calling in the middle of the night if you can't sleep. So thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Hey, everyone.